Gemini, it's your turn. Okay, Gemini, so you know Mercury is your ruler. You know that this retrograde is hitting you in the fourth house. You know that your security net, your relationship to your parents, your relationship to your upbringing, how you feel safe, how you feel secure. These are the things that since like August 4th, you were starting to get clues that there might be holes in your safety net. There may be kinks in your cogs. And on the 23rd, when Venus stationed and Mercury went retrograde, there was a shift. I mean, it was a big shift. It was an undescribably halt to everything that you thought you were catching. All of a sudden you realize that there was a element of loss in all that you were taking. Kind of like eating soup with a fork. And now, having known that, you realized you needed an update. So, like the processor you are, you searched and installed this update. And that's where we are now. We've just hit the Kazemi point. When the Sun and Mercury come together and it comes to a full realization of just how much you may have lost, how much was at stake if you kept losing. And now with this new application being provided, there's a slow kind of trudging energy that's picking up speed. On the 15th, you'll see that download fully reboot you. That will be Mercury going direct. And instead of a slow sludge, you will find that the oil in the gears is greased and things are moving quite quickly now. They're going to pick up speed from the 15th to the 30th as we move through the shadow period, and you're going to actually have tests. So from the 15th to the 30th of September, you can expect those new understandings, those new applications of those holes in your safety net. So whether that be your sense of security with yourself, your temperament, your words, the way you perceive things, taking that new filter and applying it in these experiences it's going to be new territory from the 30th on. But from the 15th to the 30th, you're going to be going over things you went over before, but with this new application. It's interesting to Gemini because with so much else happening in the sky at the same time, Mars is pushing you to use your passions to get creative. You are spilling over with ideas by the 15th. It is just one thing after another, and you're going to be experiencing this wealth of excitement again when it comes to things that light you up, things that bring you joy. And relationships to children, relationships to lovers, these things are taking full front now. On the 13th, just before that, though, the moon is going to kiss with Mercury, and we'll see this new moon energy come through. And as that does happen, that's kind of the new beginning, really. That's the brand new start. And then on the 15th, you get your first test. And from the 15th to the 30th, it's one thing after another. You're going to pass with flying colors. Don't worry about it. Communication revised. You're being asked to speak from the heart. You're being asked to speak immediately when you feel things instead of just hold on to them and analyze them. Relationships with coworkers and siblings are being refined. And by the 16th, totally blessed. You're going to be offered new opportunities, new connections. There's likely going to be conversations that give you an opportunity to talk about what you've been learning about yourself. It's going to be deeper than you're used to, but it's laying foundations so that you can work and build up something really beautiful for yourself. There's also the South Node, North Node aspect. With the South Node moving through Libra and the North Node moving through Aries, there's this impending opportunity of, by being yourself and by being fully feeling secure in who you are and knowing that you are worthy, knowing that you are more than capable, knowing that you are an asset, you are attracting a very different kind of person. You are attracting someone who is, and people who are, and networks and connections who are benefiting you because they want to see you win. They want to see winners. They want to see that fight. They want to see that muster. They want to see that courage. So you get to be loud and proud. You get to be exactly who you are. You don't have to worry about it. And at that same time, those people are going to be pulling out of you those talents that you may have suppressed. You may be talking about things that you used to love to do as a child that you don't play with anymore. And you may have opportunities to, say you were a musician when you were younger, you may get an opportunity to join a band. You may get an opportunity to jam with someone. If you were an athlete, or an artist, it's likely that someone brings you a new medium, a new opportunity, maybe join our team, maybe something along the lines of a experience that you loved and flourished in when you were younger, so that you can try it out now with this new understanding of self. So let's do a little bit of cards here. This will be part 1. And we will go into this in part 2. If you would like to order the extension on this reading, oh my goodness, Gemini, look at the cards just flying out. If you'd like to order an extension on this reading, I will have that available for purchase. But first, let's look at this. I got 6 cards up right away, and then 3 flew on this side, on the left side, down facing, and on the right side, 2 flew down facing. So these are things that haven't happened yet. But what is happening? What is the process here? We've got the 10 of Wands reversed. You walked away from something you didn't even want to walk away from. It was the end of a cycle, but you didn't want to take everything. You may have left some baggage behind, because you plan on coming back, because you plan on reinstalling yourself in a different vibration. But you had to figure out what that was. The 5 of Swords here says that there was a lot of internal conflict. There was a lot of voices in your head. There was a lot of people's opinions surrounding you, and they may have confused you, installed you, and separated you, and made you feel separate, even though you weren't separate. And those were the holes in your security net. They're networks of people, and the people you chose to keep close or listen to may have created holes in your security net, may have poked holes in who you thought you are and who you were comfortable speaking about and what you were comfortable speaking about yourself. Now, there was a toss and turn, and that's kind of where we are now. Is you're shifting, you're starting to realize my priorities are not in the right place. I'm not balancing well. And so there's an internal energy that went in, and you're coming out of this now and into something absolutely gorgeous. But understanding that this self-searching that you've done may have happened too quickly. You may not have taken the time, but you have felt the rewards already. You already feel like you're doing the right job, like you checked yourself for that imbalance, and now you're starting to dream and fantasize about what life could be if you continue to move in this vibration of this new evolved self, where you really recognize how those influences in your life can create holes in your own internal sense of security. And now you're struggling with regret. And I want you to be really careful with this, because it's okay to look back at things you've lost. It's okay to understand the mistakes you've made, but the longer you sit on that, the more stalling you do. So by all means, grieve what's gone, but understand there's more coming. So let's see what was underneath. What about this influence did you have? And we're going to look at these cards here. We're going to talk about these cards. Oh, this is interesting. We're going to talk about all of these cards in the extended. And we're going to go a little deeper too with Oracle, because I think it's really important that we know who these influences were, so we can avoid dealing with them again. And in this current energy of recognize imbalance, doing internal work, and having a hope for something better to motivate you, we're gonna go deeper into that. We're gonna go deeper into what you found when you looked inside and where the roots are of that. And going forward, this regret process, this part where you have to sit and grieve, we're gonna figure out how to get through that together. So that'll be in the extended. If you'd like the extended, please click in, and there'll be a link for you for that. Thanks, Gemini.